This is the final project for ENG 6 Spring 2020. For our group 3, we are doing a dice game called Mad Warrior. So, Mad Warrior is a game of two people, each with six dice, and the goal of the game is to capture the opponent dice, and whoever has the last dice win. So, for our project, we're implementing this game into our program. This is our program for Mad Warrior. Over here, there's a display that shows the image of the dice that are being taken. Then, right here, we have a table to show the player, the dice type, and the dice value. The reset button is for resetting the dice and our choice, and the start button is for updating the player status. The checkbox is for choosing the dice. These are the math operation buttons that are used to calculate the value of the dice. We have the reroll button over here that will reroll the dice that are being used. The calculate button will show the result of the calculated value onto the numeric field. The end turn will pass the turn to the other player.
I will be doing a live demonstration on how to play this game. So first, this will be player 1, and over here will be player 2. So I'll add these two up to equal 6. Calculate. Reroll these dice values. And then capture over here, because that would equal 6. And end turn. So it'll be captured. So we'll go player 2. They'll press start to get all the ThinkSpeak values. This will be blacked out. And then we're going to try to disable one of these functions right here. So if we do use these two, add to make a value, and calculate equals 7, we'll destroy this one over here. We'll reroll, and then that will end turn. The dice. So now it's player 1's turn. Player 1 will start, the values will transfer, and I'll try to take out one of the dice. So I will use 2, and I use a direct attack for this value over here. I will reroll, and then end turn. So this value is now gone. Now it's player 2's turn. I'll start, and all the values will change. Then it's my turn to capture one of these dice. So I'll use this to direct attack to kill this one. Reroll my values, and then I'll end turn. This will be gone, and then I will start, and these values here will be broken. As you can see, this works, and for time's sake value for our YouTube video, we can't show the whole demonstration, so you can go through the program and try to play yourself. Play until there's no more to be captured and the player wins.
And for our code, we start with our function that uses random function to get all 6 value according to their faces for both player. We have the lamb variables that indicate the green and red for the turn, and for the use button we have variable that records the value of the number that display on the numeric field and use it for later calculation. We also set a button to be red so that we know that the value is being used. For each turn, player can only use the value once. It's all for the use function. For the calculate button, this is the numeric field, and we're just displaying the value that is calculated into the numeric field. And we change the calculate counter variable to indicate that player 1 has already calculated the value, and when we're clicking enter, the light bulb will change using an if statement as shown here. We also have the if statement to disable the dice that are being selected, and finally for the end turn we have the reroll is use an if statement to change the value of the dice if the dice is being used. And the math operation buttons, we have we use the variable that we record in the with the use button, and we use it to do calculation by making it a store in the calculate value 1. That's for both player, and these are the minus, the multiply, and the divide. The reset button just make all the variable back to its original value, and the direct attack is similar to any of the calculate of the math operation buttons, except we use another variable to store in the value of the dice, because for the direct attack we can only use one dice to attack the other player dice.
I made some photos for the dice and for the each value. and they are loaded here, and they will be displayed here when the chat box ticks. Here is the enter button. The first thing for the enter button to do is to switch the turn. If it's player one's turn, the player one's lamp will switch to red, and player two's will switch to green, indicating that player one's turn is ended, and it's now for player two. So same thing for if it's player two's turn. Okay, we have some if statements here, and this is to execute the minor attack and strange attack. So if the calculated value here is for player one is equal to the dice you static that you want to take from the opponent. If it's equal, also for the strange attack. The strange attack, we have a different variable for the strange attack. If it's equal or greater than the dice value is static, then the chat box will be disabled. The use button will also be disabled, means that this dice has been taken. And here we have a variable to read the dice value that is taken. And here is for the record board. This means this is a player 2's dice and it's a forfeit dice, and this is the value. Here is to untick the chat box. So same thing for 4 phase, 6 phase, 8 phase, 10 phase, 12 phase, 20 phase, and same thing for player 2. Here we reset the player 1 counter, and we reset the dice ability, and also clear the calculate value for player 1 here for player 2. Okay, so same thing for the counter for player 2 and dice for player 2. And we also reset the lamp, all of them to green for the dice, indicating that they are usable.
Okay, so for our special features, we have different sounds at play. For example, our calculate button. Our calculate button when you press calculate, they both play sounds. We also have it for our reroll buttons. As you can see, dice are here. When you press reroll, they play a certain sound. We also have for each of the tick marks right here, disable dice. And then we also have it for these arithmetic right here. And we also have one for end turn. Those are all the sounds. And we also have over here for our tick marks. For our access display right here, there are case values for each player's dice. So for example, this is player 2, and for the 4-face dice, it captures the value of the 4-face dice and sets a case, switch case. So whatever number dice, it'll display the image right here, as you can see over here. And we have these for the 4-face dice, 6-face dice, 8, and up to 20 for both players. For our TeamSpeak, we have our channel IDs, 3 channels, our 3 write keys, our 3 read keys, and our data. And our first use of it will be our end turn button. Our end turn button gets the value of the tick mark. It'll send all the values of the tick mark to TeamSpeak so that the channel knows which ticks have been pressed for the second window player. We also have our TeamSpeak use for the reroll button. When players reroll, it'll capture all the values for each of the dice and send it to TeamSpeak. Our primary use is for the start buttons. So for the start buttons, it'll send a value right here from the reroll buttons. It'll send a value either 2 or 1, indicating which player's turn it is to press the start button. So if the value is 1, all the data from TeamSpeak channel 1 will read the dice values, so it'll send the dice values from player 1 to player 2. The updated values, it'll also change the color from red to green to indicate which turn's player it is. These are for the tick marks, so it'll read the values in the tick marks and it'll hide both these values over here. And then we have these both for these 2 values over here. And that is it for our final project for ENG 6.